to read off a script, which if you know me, that doesn't work too well, but I'm going to do it tonight. I've been looking forward to this tonight for a long time. Welcome to the very first Webster Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Scott Morrison, and I'm honored to chair this committee. Before we dive into why we're here, I want to thank our pep band, who will be performing at the games later tonight, and also our student advisor committee. We appreciate, they're the ones that guided you in, and we appreciate their help in this special event. So would you please give them a round of applause? I've lived in Webster since 1980 when we became parents, my wife and I, and we moved here because of the education and the recreation programs that this great town offers. But my career here started in 1990. I was a PE teacher and coach. I came to Webster because the school I was teaching at closed. So I was very lucky and very fortunate to be hired by Mr. Bill Guerrera. If you knew Bill, you knew his passion was not just for kids, it was not just for sports, but it was for the student athletes, which are our kids. This is a little tough because he meant a lot to me, and I owe him a lot. I learned early on from Bill that it's not just the player, but it's the person. Bill was the reason I pursued an administrative degree and eventually became athletic director at Webster Thomas. Seeing Bill a few years later, he said, "Morrison, I always thought you might be able to do this job." I said, "Thank you, sir." It was a great time. Okay, I'll be honest with you, we tried to get this Hall of Fame started years ago when I first became an athletic director, and because I wondered why a district our size, with all the success that we have had, didn't have an athletic Hall of Fame. And when I was coaching, and I would go to schools in a town that had one red light for the whole town, and they had this glorious Hall of Fame. So why can't Webster do it? And they did. The discussion began in the early 2000s, but it wasn't until the spring of 2025 that the stars finally aligned, and I received a call from Brian Eenan with a simple message: let's finally build this Hall of Fame that Webster deserves. After a year of hard work, and I really didn't realize when I was first asking for a Hall of Fame the work that goes into it. I thought, okay, let's nominate these people and away we go. No, it doesn't work that way. Thank God I was told to hold off a little bit. After a year of hard work by an incredible committee, and when I say incredible, I mean incredible. The committee established bylaws, which I'm not great at. They created a process, which I'm not great at, and they selected our first class. It's taken nearly 125 years since the birth of Webster Athletics to get here. But looking at the room tonight, it was well worth the wait. Looking back, I'm actually glad it didn't work out 20 years ago. It wouldn't have been what it is tonight. This was the right place at the right time in the right situation. I want to thank our Board of Education for their incredible support in making this a reality. This is the right time to honor these individuals. Webster's history is unique, and this is why it makes it difficult to get a Hall of Fame started. We went from one school to two schools, then we went back to one, and then we went back to two again. We've been a Warrior, a Lion, a Ridgemen, a Titan, and a Laker. And one thing about all the five of these programs, each one of them has won a sectional title in some sport. So we have talent here, and it shows tremendously. We are celebrating a legacy that started in 1876 at the old free school on South Avenue. And Gary Tyrone was the athletic director, if you know Gary. So, the success of our programs has never been about just the wins and losses. It's about providing life lessons. It is built with hard work, teamwork, tireless dedication of our coaches, parents, and staff. I want to recognize my fellow athletic directors, Sean Streggy and Steve LaMonica. Their partnership, along with the support of our district leaders, ensures that we have always placed the emphasis on student-athlete, in the student-athlete part. I hope every kid, my hope is for every kid who walks through the doors at Webster School wants to participate in something. Wants to participate in something. Whether it's drama, sparks, athletics, or whatever. I want them to have an opportunity to connect and be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. That sense of belonging is what stays with you forever. You might win this or that, but the memories you make by being part of something sticks with you forever. Tonight we honor 23 icons who showed us exactly what that looks like. We are representing 15 sports. We are representing 4 coaches, 3 administrators, and 16 student athletes. Tonight is not the finish line. Well, let me take one step back. When I look out and see these people, I look at some of them are mentors, some of them are colleagues, some of them are my student athletes, and some recipients I don't even know. And I'm excited to hear about the stories in the past. One thing I do know, not one of them was a pain in the neck. So I'd like to introduce our superintendent. If you know Brian, he's a positive supporter, and he says, let's do this attitude is why we're finally here. Brian, thank you for your ongoing leadership and for your support. My only 2 regrets that I have with Brian Neenan is he didn't come here sooner, and he's a Yankee fan. You know, he can't have everything. So I'd like to invite my friend, Brian Neenan, up to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Scott. We all know you're a Red Sox fan, so good luck this season, Scott. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you again, Scott, for that introduction, but more importantly, thank you for your pursuit of this vision. Standing here tonight and looking out at this crowd, I am just struck by the amount of history we have in one room. This is a milestone moment for our district, and for years we have talked about how to properly honor the legends who have built our reputation, and tonight we finally do it. We're here to induct our first 23 members into the Webster Athletic Hall of Fame. These 23 individuals are the pillars of our programs. They represent decades of early mornings, late-night bus rides, championship trophies, and most importantly, lessons in character that have been passed down through generations of Webster families. Think about that. The number of people that have been involved in athletics here in Webster is unbelievable. So to our honorees tonight, your legacy isn't just about the record books. It's in the standard of excellence that you set for every student and coach who has followed in your footsteps. You showed us what it means to be a Webster athlete and a Webster coach, and tonight we make sure that your contributions are never forgotten. And as any of our coaches will tell you, a great season doesn't happen without a great staff. This Hall of Fame is certainly no different. I want to start out by thanking and extending a huge debt of gratitude to our Webster Board of Education. Your support of this idea and your commitment to our students' experiences beyond the classroom is what makes nights like tonight possible. Beyond your roles, you are people who recognize exactly what a Hall of Fame adds to a community. You are a group that values celebrating the hard work and accomplishments of our students and are driven by a desire to connect with our community and help it grow. How about we give them a huge round of applause? Several of them are here tonight. I also want to thank our current athletic directors, Steve LaMonica and Sean Strege. Your leadership and your organization and your efforts ensuring that our current athletic programs continue to thrive while we take the time to honor our past. Alongside them, I want to thank our current and former coaches. You are mentors who turn potential into excellence. You are the ones in the trenches every day, teaching our kids how to win with grace and lose with dignity. Our programs are only as strong as the leaders that we put in front of our students, and we have been fortunate with the very best, and many of them are actually here tonight. So please give our coaches, our current coaches, and former round of applause. And tonight, we're talking about legacy. And if you're going to be talking about legacy, you have to talk about Scott Morrison. Scott, you said a few minutes ago, and we love all your, if you guys know Scott, he has a lot of one-liners and Scott Morrison-isms. But certainly one of the things that you said earlier is that you've worn many caps for our district and for quite a few years. You've been a physical education teacher, a coach, athletic director, and now the prestigious honor of being the chair of this committee. You have been the driving force behind this project because you understood that community is stronger when it honors and celebrates its history. Thank you for your vision, your persistence, and for being the bridge between Webster's past and its future. This night is a testament to your dedication to this district, and can we all please give Scott a huge round of applause? It doesn't come to fruition, though, without the support, the partnership, and the leadership of our current two ADs. Sean and Steve, you guys have been rocks behind this entire thing in the last year and a half, and we've been doing this. The two of them have been doing a ton of work. And one of the things that I know that they will tell you over and over again was one of the best days of being an athletic director in our district was when the two of them got to make the phone calls to all of our inductees. It was like Christmas morning to them as they absolutely enjoyed those conversations. To the families of our honorees, thank you for sharing your loved ones with us. We know that behind every great athlete and every great coach is a support system that made the sacrifices necessary for them to succeed. But finally, I want to thank our community, our Webster community. We're lucky. We are certainly lucky to live in a place that shows up for its schools. Whether it's on the sidelines of a Friday night game or in the audience of a school play, this community supports our students in a way that is truly unique. You don't just cheer for the wins either. You support the growth of every child that goes through our system. And that is what makes Webster special. Tonight, we aren't just hanging plaques on a wall. We are celebrating the heart of Webster. So let's enjoy this evening, honor our 23 icons, and continue to build a future our students and community can be proud of. Now, it's time to get started on honoring those 23 icons. So I'd like to invite Steve LaMonica, Sean Strege, and Scott Morrison up to the podium for the presentation of our awards.
All right, I'm the logistics guy here, so honorees, I apologize for all the emails. My fault, but thank you so much for your communication and to getting this night done. Pretty soon you're going to see a picture of an honoree. If that's you, come on down here. You're going to stand on a pink X. You can't miss it. And if it's somebody that you're representing and being awarded on behalf of tonight, go ahead and follow suit. However we do this the first time is how it gets done every time. So no pressure on Coach Claire here. Our first honoree this evening, Kevin Akins from the class of 1978. We are proud to induct Kevin Akins, a class of 1978 graduate who stands as one of the most dominant throwers in Webster in Section 5 history. During his high school career, Kevin set the standard for power and technique, establishing Section 5 records in both the shot put and the discus. His prowess on the field was undeniable, and his record-breaking performances laid the groundwork for a legendary athletic career. Kevin continued to excel at the collegiate level while attending Ohio State University. As a Buckeye, he cemented his legacy as an elite competitor, earning the title of Indoor All-American. He was a force in the Big Ten Conference, becoming a two-time outdoor champion in the shot put in 1981 and 1982. And in 1982, he set the Ohio State outdoor shot put record, a testament to his enduring strength and skill. His success culminated on the national stage in 1983 when he was crowned the National Indoor Shot Put Champion. In 2006, Kevin was inducted into the Ohio State Athletic Hall of Fame and still holds the Buckeyes' 43-year-old records in the shot and the disc in indoor and outdoor today. Kevin's journey from Section 5 record holder to national champion exemplifies the dedication and excellence we celebrate today. Please welcome Kevin Akins to the Hall of Fame, accepting on his behalf current Schrader track and field coach Dave Clare.
The next honoree is Chris Barnes. This is Chris's mom, Marjorie. Tonight we honor Chris Barnes, a lifelong Webster resident and true pioneer for girls lacrosse in our Webster community. He was a member of the class of 1984, and then Chris returned to his roots to become a foundational figure in Webster athletics. He coached the district's very first girls lacrosse team in 1997 and was instrumental in the sport's growth as a founder of the Webster Women's Lacrosse Club. Over a distinguished coaching career spanning 22 years, Chris guided countless student athletes, culminating in a historic season where he led the 2006 Webster Thomas girls lacrosse team to the Section 5 championship. His impact on the sport extends far beyond the scoreboard. He has served as the U.S. lacrosse. We lost power?
We lost power.
Oh!
Give it just a second. Tell us what.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me.
Is this on still?
Okay. Hey. Okay. Over a where was okay. We won the Section 5 championship, I know that, and he's an All-American and All-Academic chairperson and organized a U.S. lacrosse senior game. Today, his legacy is permanently recognized with 2 local lacrosse events named in his honor. For his vision, leadership, and dedication to building championship program from the ground up, we proudly induct Chris Barnes. It was said by Chris that a good coach can change a game. A great coach can change a life. That was Chris. This was Chris in the classroom and on the field, a great coach and an even better friend. Chris Barnes.
I'm not sure if we'll get Brian Bliss's photo up there, but you can imagine he's better looking than me. And twice the soccer player, that's for sure. Brian Bliss, class of 1983. We are thrilled to induct Brian Bliss, the class of 1983, and a soccer legend whose career took him from the fields of Webster Schrader to the world's biggest stages. A 3-year varsity player for Webster, Brian was simultaneously developing his skills in the Olympic Development Program. His talent was recognized early on when he was selected as a U.S. National Youth Team member in 1983. I can share firsthand that growing up as a soccer player in Webster in the 1990s, we heard the name Brian Bliss quite a lot. Brian went on to become a 2-year college All-American, a 2-time college All-American in 1985 and 1986 at Southern Connecticut State University before launching an extensive professional and international career. He was the first overall pick of the Cleveland Force of the Major Indoor Soccer League in 1987. He wore the colors of the U.S. national team for 11 years, earning 44 caps and representing our country at the 1988 Seoul Olympics and the 1990 World Cup in Italy. Professionally, Brian competed at the highest levels, playing in the German Bundesliga, second division from 1991 to 1996. Currently, he is the director of the Academy for the Columbus Crew of Major League Soccer. His journey is a testament to where talent and hard work can lead. While he is unable to join us today, we are so excited to honor him in this inaugural class. Accepting on his behalf, current Schrader soccer assistant coach and family friend, Jesse Myers.
Dave Boots Batillier, class of 1988. Please welcome Dave Boots Batillier, class of 1988, a relentless competitor who excelled in cross country and track. Dave was a 4-year, 3-season varsity athlete and captain, known for his endurance and leadership. In his senior year, he captured the 1988 Monroe County Championship in the 800-meter run. Dave continued his athletic career at the University of Rochester, where he reached new heights. He was a key member of the 91 National Championship team and earned cross-country All-American honors that same year. His competitive spirit continued well after college, as he won gold in 1996 and bronze in 1993 at the World Duathlon Championships. Beyond his personal achievements, Dave has given back to the greater Rochester running community as the founder of Fleet Feet Rochester and the Yellow Jackets Racing. He also has been instrumental in promoting and supporting our annual 4th grade fun run here in Webster. He also has done charity work providing shoes for athletes in need. We honor Dave today by inducting him in the Webster Hall of Fame. Mark Carlton, class of 2000. We recognize Mark Carlton, class of 2000, one of the most decorated divers in New York State history. Mark was a dominant force for Webster, winning 4 Section 5 championships and 4 New York State championships during his high school career. His excellence on the board earned him the title of Public High School National Champion and All-American while holding records at both the state and county levels. Mark continued his diving career at Indiana University, where he became a 6-time NCAA All-American. He reigned over the Big Ten Conference as a champion and was named Big Ten Diver of the Year Mark also had the distinct honor of representing the United States national team, competing against the best in the world. For his unparalleled success and mastery of his sport, we proudly induct Mark Carlton into the Hall of Fame.
Next up, Jim Cripps, class of 1961. We are honored to posthumously induct Jim Cripps, a legendary all-around athlete from the class of 1961. Jim was a force of nature in Webster athletics, earning all-county honors in football, basketball, and track during his senior year. Under his leadership, all three of his teams went undefeated that year, with his basketball team being voted the best in Section 5 history. Jim's extraordinary talent has earned him membership in both the Section 5 football and basketball halls of fame. After high school, he attended Syracuse University on a football scholarship and played in the 1964 Sugar Bowl before answering the call to serve his country. Jim became a major in the Marine Corps, flying helicopters in Vietnam and later serving as a fighter pilot. Tragically, we lost Jim too soon when his plane went down in 1982. In 2001, Jim was honored as a member of the Frontier Field Walk of Fame in Rochester for his contributions to sportsmanship in Monroe County. Tonight, we celebrate his incredible athletic legacy and his service. Please join me in honoring a Webster legend, Jim Cripps. Accepting on his behalf his teammate his senior year from those three teams, Jay Smith. Carl Garitano from the class of 2003. It is our pleasure to induct Carl Garitano, class of 2003, a running back who was simply unstoppable on the football field. As a baseball player, he was a superior outfielder who could track down any fly ball and was feared by opponents whenever his spot in the lineup came to bat. Carl was a dominant football force, earning recognition as a two-time All-Greater Rochester Player of the Year, and in 2002, the New York State Class AA Player of the Year. Carl's leadership and performance were instrumental in guiding his teams to 3 New York State titles, and he was named the state championship MVP in 2002. His name is etched in the record books, ranking 4th in Section 5 history with 5,210 rushing yards, and 3rd with 76 touchdowns. I think I watched a lot of those, proudly. Following his historic high school career, Carl played on a full scholarship at Fordham University. For his championship pedigree and record-setting performance, we welcome Carl Garitano to the Hall of Fame. Gregor Gillespie, class of 2005. I knew he would outdress me. I knew it. Well done. Tonight we honor Gregor Gillespie, class of 2005, widely considered one of the most dominant wrestlers in New York State history. A 2-time captain for Webster, Gregor's high school resume is flawless. He is a 5-time Section 5 champion, a 4-time New York State placer, and a 2-time New York State champion. He still holds school records for the most wins, most falls, and most takedowns in our history. Gregor's continued his wrestling career at Edinburgh University, where he achieved the ultimate prize, becoming a Division I NCAA national champion in 2007 at 149 pounds. He finished his collegiate career as a 4-time NCAA Division I All-American and still holds Edinburgh's record for career wins and winning percentage. Following his wrestling success, Gregor transitioned to professional mixed martial arts, competing at the highest level in the UFC. A member of the Section 5 Wrestling Hall of Fame, Gregor Gillespie is a true champion, and we are honored to welcome him to the Webster Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations. He was also in my phys ed class and once had me time him going across the climbing wall and came back every day to try to better it. Competitor. I don't know if you remember that.
That's another wall thing.
Now we proudly induct Bill Guerrera. Bill Guerrera was a foundational coach, administrator who shaped the landscape of Webster athletics. Bill served as the head football coach from 1961 to 1974, leading his team to 2 divisional championships. However, his legacy extends further as an originator of the Webster boys lacrosse program. Bill coached the lacrosse team from 1964 to 75, culminating in a Section 5 championship in 75. Beyond coaching, he served as department chairman for physical education and athletics, ensuring quality programs for all students. He is a member of the USA Lacrosse Greater Rochester Area Hall of Fame, a testament to his pioneering work in the sport and for his vision and decades of service. Bill also received the New York State Administrative Award for developing a strong student-athlete program at Webster. I loved coaching for Bill. For him, he was always supportive, he was always encouraging, and he always had your back. He was a great resource. But most of all, Bill listened. Bill Guerrera, and accepting on his behalf is Dave Moore. Next, we are honoring Colleen Kelly. Colleen Kelly was in the class of 2002. She could still play today, believe me. She was a student athlete, a 3-sport student athlete who excelled in every arena she entered. In basketball, Colleen was a 3-time All-Greater Rochester first-team selection and was named Monroe County Player of the Year as a senior. On a softball field, she was equally dominant, earning 2 first-team All-State selections and 2 Monroe County Player of the Year awards while leading her team to 2 Section 5 championships. And I know that she was also an outstanding soccer player, keeper. She started every game that she was eligible to because a knee injury wouldn't let her play one year. And she became the New York State Tournament Keeper of the Year award twice. Colleen was also nominated for the WHAM Female Athlete of the Year award, maintained a stellar, when I say stellar, it was stellar. She went a stellar academic record. She went on to play Division I basketball at Brown University. Today, she continues her leadership in sports as a senior associate athletic director at Brown. We are proud to induct Colleen Kelly into the Webster Athletic Hall of Fame. But, hold up. I guess I'd tell you a few things about Colleen. They're good, believe me. She made a coach better. She really did. Because sometimes I would go on a tirade, and she would explain to the other players what I was talking about. She was a great example of a Triple Crown athlete, an all-star in every one of them. Her attitude and effort on the field or court made coaching a fine thing to do. She never took a day off from a game or practice, and always makes me proud when a player that I coached went on into education and coaching, or both. Colleen Kelly.
It's my JV baseball coach back there. You can tell practices were exciting. Next up, Patrick J. Kelly II, class of 1983. We are honored to induct Patrick Kelly II, class of 1983, a three-sport star whose athletic journey took him to the pinnacle of professional football. At Webster, Pat excelled in football, basketball, and lacrosse, earning all Greater Rochester honors in football and induction into the Section 5 Football Hall of Fame. Pat played college football at Syracuse University, where his coaches once shared about him, he could take over a whole team. He was as bright as they come, and he could disrupt with his sense of humor. He is remembered by many in Central New York for the touchdown catch that ensured that the 1987 Orangemen had an undefeated season versus West Virginia. After college, he had a career in the National Football League. He was drafted by the Denver Broncos, where he played as a tight end and competed in Super Bowl 24 against the 49ers. He also went on to play for the New York Jets, and he is remembered not only for his elite athletic ability, but for the pride that he brought to Webster. Pat passed away from cancer in 2003. Today, we celebrate the legacy of Pat J. Kelly II. Accepting on his behalf is his niece, Nicole Robinson. Brian Kozlowski, class of 1988. Today, we recognize Brian Kozlowski, class of 1988, a multi-sport athlete who built a remarkably consistent and long-lasting career in the National Football League. After graduating from Webster, Brian attended the University of Connecticut, where he became known for his durability, starting 43 consecutive games. To this day, UConn presents the Brian Kozlowski Award in his honor. Brian went on to play 14 years in the NFL for the New York Giants, Atlanta Falcons, and Washington Redskins. A highlight of his professional career was starting for the Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl 33. His longevity and tenacity at the highest level of football are an inspiration, and we are proud to induct Brian into our Hall of Fame. Accepting on his behalf, Kim, Steve, and Kenneth from the Kozlowski family. Jim Cruiser Cruz. Come on up. We are delighted to induct Jim Cruz, affectionately known to all as Cruiser. Jim served the district for decades as a dedicated coach for girls soccer, cross country, and track and field. He even took on a few seasons of girls volleyball. However, he is perhaps most known and loved for his role as a head athletic supervisor, a position he devoted himself to for over 30 years. There weren't many times that you would come to a Schrader event and not see Jim working with coaches or referees or spectators, but his favorite was working with student athletes, mentoring them and giving them support that they needed. If he were here today, he would be telling us all to get back to work with that smile that we miss. Jim has been honored by both Monroe County Public School Athletic Conference and Section 5 for his service. His impact on our facilities and game day atmosphere is immortalized with his naming of the Schrader Outdoor Press Box in his honor. For his unwavering support of Webster student athletes and his presence at countless events, we welcome Jim Cruz, say that 5 times fast, to the Hall of Fame, one of my faves. Accepting on his behalf is his wife, Patty Cruz.
Next, I'd like to introduce Rachel Cruz. Rachel Cruz, class of 1999, was a soccer phenom who helped put Webster on a national map. Rachel was a very key player in leading the Webster soccer program to a top 5 national ranking. A multiple-time All-Greater Rochester selection, she set a standard of excellence on the field. And if that wasn't enough, she was also a standout volleyball, going on to coach volleyball at Webster Schrader. Rachel continued her career at West Virginia University, where she earned all Big East honors for her outstanding play. Following her collegiate success, she reached the professional level, playing for the WUSA, first women's professional soccer league in the United States. Just last month, Rachel was announced as a 2026 inductee to New York State Girls Soccer Hall of Fame. For her accomplishments as a player and her role in elevating Webster athletics, we proudly induct Rachel Cruz. Wait a minute. Rachel was a midfielder and with great vision of the game, but she was tough. She was tough. She controls the game like my wife controls the checkbook. So nobody would get by her, okay? And I always, and she's another player that gave back to school by becoming a coach. Rachel Cruz.
I got to file Scott. Brenna Mason, class of 2013. Can you still do that? Today we honor Brenna Mason, class of 2013, a goalkeeper who was the backbone of Webster Thomas's championship teams. As starting varsity goalkeeper, Brenna led her team to 3 sectional championships and 1 state final appearance. I was there, and if it not for a messed up call at the end of the game, I think they would have been state champs. In her senior year, she swept the major awards, being named All-American, the National Soccer Coaches Association of New York State Player of the Year, and All Greater Rochester Player of the Year. Brenna went on to play Division I soccer at Colgate University, where she continued to dominate. She was named the Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Year and earned first-team All-Patriot League honors. Her .66 goals against average and 9 shutouts in her sophomore year ranked among the best in Colgate history. We are thrilled to induct Brenna Mason in our Hall of Fame today. Linda McCoy. We are proud to induct Linda McCoy, a dedicated physical education teacher and coach who had a profound impact on generations of Webster athletes. For decades, Linda served as the varsity coach for field hockey, girls basketball, and volleyball, and she was a fixture of the Thomas High School softball program. She was inducted into the Frontier Walk of Fame in 2010 and is a member of the USSS Hall of Fame for softball. She also was quite the softball player. I know she played on a Peace bootlegger team that traveled all over the country playing in tournaments and was very successful, and she was a leader on that team as well. Her influence was so significant that the Thomas varsity field and the field at Ridge Park are both named in her honor. Beyond the wins and losses, Linda was known for her focus on the mental side of the game and for creating an inclusive atmosphere. She even established a skate club to provide a safe space for students who wanted to skateboard, demonstrating her care for every student. We honor Linda McCoy for compassion and dedication and induct her into our Hall of Fame today. Accepting on Linda's behalf is her son Brian and her grandchildren.
Next, we are going to introduce Bill O'Rourke Jr. Tonight, we honor Bill, class of 1965, a decorated player and a legendary coach. Bill played for his father at Webster before a collegiate career at St. John Fisher, where he was drafted by the New York Knicks. However, he chose to return to Webster, where he coached the varsity team for 35 seasons. Bill amassed 468 wins and led his team to 2 Section 5 championships. He is a member of the Section 5 Basketball Hall of Fame, the Frontier Field Walk of Fame, and known as a true gentleman on and off the court. One story about Bill was in a sectional game, the opposite team wore the wrong uniforms, and we were allowed a technical foul for each player that stepped on the floor. Bill refused, and we played the game with no advantage. The score 0-0. That was the type of person Bill was. The Thomas Gym is named in honor of him and his family. We will probably induct Bill O'Rourke Jr. into the Hall of Fame, but wait. Bill was a great mentor to me. We would have many talks. I'd coach the women's basketball, and he coached the men's basketball, and our paths would cross many, many times. I'd go to his games, and he would go to mine. And he talked to me about basketball, how to press offense, and I showed him about the matchup defense. But most of all, he talked about life and how important it is to provide a positive influence on our student athletes. I took many of his philosophies and developed the Webster Coach's Handbook, and I always thanked him for that because he had some great ideas. You just look at his playbook. So thank you very much. And Bill O'Rourke, represented by him by his daughter, Laura O'Rourke. Now we'd like to honor Bill O'Rourke Sr. Accepting on his behalf is Tom O'Rourke. We are honored to induct Bill O'Rourke Sr., a pillar of the Webster basketball program. Bill began coaching in 1950 and led the team for 28 years, amassing an outstanding record of 343 wins. His teams won 8 Monroe County championships and played in Section 5 title games. His 1961 AA championship team was later recognized as Section 5's all-time best team. Bill was an inaugural inductee into the Frontier Walk of Fame. Together with his son, the O'Rourke duo coached in Webster and combined 63 years and an incredible 811 game wins. We celebrate the patriarch of this basketball dynasty. Senior was not only a pillar, but he was the damn foundation of the whole basketball program in Webster. Didn't know him well, but when he spoke, I listened. Bill O'Rourke Sr. Now, we're inducting Thomas O'Rourke, class of 1970. He was the greatest scorer in Webster basketball history for many, many years. He held the all-time scoring record of 1,241 points for 50 years before it was recently broken. But back in those days, there was no three-point shot. You got 2, and that was it. He was a driving force behind a team that had a 51-10 record during his tenure. Tom's scoring ability earned him recognition as a 2-time All-Greater Rochester selection in 1969 and 1970. He was also honored as a 2-time Coach and Athlete Magazine All-American. A member of the Section 5 Basketball Hall of Fame, Tom O'Rourke's offensive legacy stands the test of time. We are proud to induct Tom O'Rourke. Wait a minute. Okay. Tom is a legend. Tom's team, defense, and rebounding were legendary. You can ask the superintendent. He was on the wrong side of many, well, I wouldn't say elbows, I would just say a good box out. Right, yeah. Putting his offense, defense, and the tenacity together, you have a complete player. And another thing people don't know, he's a hell of a painter. He painted my house, so okay. Bill O'Rourke. Tom O'Rourke.
Emily Resnick, class of 2015. Today we honor Emily Resnick, class of 2015, a dominant athlete who played both lacrosse and basketball. She excelled on the lacrosse field, rewriting the record books. A 5-season varsity athlete and 3-season captain, Emily was a force on the field. She set the Webster Thomas School record for career points with 426, career goals with 273, and career assists of 153. Her incredible production earned her All-American honors in 2014 and 2015, along with being a 3-time All-Greater Rochester first-team selection. Emily continued her lacrosse career at Division I level, playing at Syracuse University. For her record-setting performance and leadership, we welcome Emily Resnick to our Hall of Fame. Carrie Santor, class of 2000. We are delighted to induct Carrie Santor, class of 2000, a gymnast who achieved perfection and made history. Carrie was a 6-year varsity gymnast and a 4-year captain for Webster. Her consistency was unmatched, and she was named to the All-County First Team every single year from 1995 to 2000. She attended SUNY Brockport, and at SUNY Brockport, Carrie became a 4-time NCGA national champion. In 2005, she achieved the rare feat of becoming the only Division III athlete in history to qualify for and advance to the finals of the NCAA Division I National Championships. Carrie's dedication and historic accomplishments make her a deserving member of our Hall of Fame. Welcome to the class, Carrie.
That's good. Next, I'd like to introduce Nina Scalzo. Nina Scalzo, class of 2000, a prolific scorer in a number of New York State Soccer Hall of Fame, and a member of the New York State Soccer Hall of Fame. She was inducted last September. During her high school career, Nina was an outstanding offensive powerhouse, scoring 90 goals and recording 50 assists. Her talent was recognized with the All-Greater Rochester Player of the Year Award in 1998 and the Monroe County Division I Player of the Year Award in 1999. Nina continued her athletic career playing soccer for Syracuse University. Her ability to find the back of the net and her induction into the State Hall of Fame cement her legacy as one of Webster's all-time greats. We proudly induct Nina Scalzo. And wait a minute. Okay. Talk about making a coach better. Nina sure did. Teams had to figure out how we're going to play against this kid. They had to play 2 players, 3 players on her. It didn't matter. She took and found a way, whether for herself or for her teammates. She played the ball very well in the air and was strong and had a heavy shot. When I was coaching, I used to play goalie, just just to stop and give correct angles where the goalie should stand. But then when Nina came along, I got out a goal. I sent George Williams in there, and forever we were all right. So Nina, congratulations.
Joe Zaccardo, class of 2005. Our final inductee of the day. We honor Joe Zaccardo, class of 2005, who is recognized for his excellence as a standout multi-sport athlete in both football and baseball. He distinguished himself on the gridiron with exceptional veracity and as a dual threat quarterback, setting career records for rushing, 1,740 yards, rushing touchdowns with 32, and passing touchdowns for 44. It's still in our record log in the back hallway by the field house. His prowess on the football field earned him an induction into the Section 5 Football Hall of Fame in 2023. On the diamond, Joe was an outstanding catcher, and his performance earned him a Division II first-team all-county recognition, as well as an All-Greater Rochester selection in 2005. Joe's dominance in both sports culminated in him being named 2005 All-Greater Rochester Player of the Year, which is a prestigious honor highlighting his all-around excellence. He continued his baseball career at SUNY Brockport, go Eagles, where he won Golden Glove honors and was named to the 2010 All-SUNYAC tournament team. For his outstanding contributions to Webster athletics as a formidable quarterback, prolific catcher, and a team leader, we proudly welcome Joe Zaccardo into the Hall of Fame.
As we bring this historic evening to a close, I find myself looking around this room, feeling an incredible sense of pride. When we started this process, we spent hours looking through stacks of photos, yearbooks, old record books. But for me, this was personal. I grew up right here in Webster. Like so many kids in this town, I spent my childhood idolizing the athletes who wore our colors. To me, the names we're honoring tonight weren't just names. They were legends. Now I'm lucky enough to be in our schools every day. I see the next generation of Webster athletes, and I see the impact that you have had, your legacy has had on them. It's a reminder that while the names and the colors of the jerseys may change, the heart of a Webster athlete has remained constant for over a century. You've given the kids in our hallways a standard to reach for. I want to offer one final thank you to our inductees and their families. Thank you for your sacrifices you made and the examples that you set. To our Hall of Fame committee, our Board of Education, and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make this inaugural event a reality. Thank you for your dedication. Before we depart, we have a few ways to continue tonight's celebration. You'll see that our photographer is setting up a photography area, and we invite, after we do our group shot, we'll invite your family and the honoree over here, and Mr. Germano will take your photo, and we'll make sure we find a way to get those to you at the end of the evening. We invite afterwards everyone to celebrate with us in the cafeteria immediately following, where there'll be a social gathering with heavy hors d'oeuvres, whatever that means. A little less than dinner, a little more than appetizers. That's what I was told. We have a photo station set up. Obviously, encourage you to take a moment for that. To our honorees attending the basketball games this evening, it's a long night, I know that, but we are excited to recognize you on the court. Please be in your assigned seats. You have little name tents if you make it that far by 6:30. And just after that, before the boys' game warm-ups, we'll bring everybody out in mid-court. We'll do another photo op there and recognize you one more time on this wonderful day. Finally, we invite all the honorees to the front down here with your plaque, and we're going to take one group picture of all of you. Thank you so much for being part of our inaugural committee.